Thanks, Becky. I want to talk a little this morning about how we see geographic understanding transforming this community as well as our world. GIS and mapping and geospatial infrastructure have never been so important. It's transforming aspects of, obviously, our world, but the impact it's having on the much larger community is growing day by day. It's helping organizations do their work better and to be able to grow and solve harder problems, creating real value for the community. We're seeing GIS transform organizations by interconnecting information, processes, and workflows, happening all at the same time, using location to bring together all this information. You've seen examples of that this morning. This is actually creating responsive organizations, responsive to citizens, responsive to their work orders, responsive to technology changes. It's using the power of geography to understand everything and to integrate it. Maps are fundamental to this because they engage and interconnect everyone. They provide the common language. I'm sure many of you have used maps in your day-to-day work, be able to say, no, you can use this to help understand. Let me show you on the map. But it's moving beyond that static communication into real-time awareness, bringing together the people and organizations and communities together, creating a common framework for collaborating and problem-solving using maps. GIS is increasingly taking geospatial and geospatial infrastructure to the edge, creating secure, integrated, interoperable systems that operate at all levels of the organization and all types of computing environments. This means that organizations are able to be connected to departments that are far afield, that are using their own edge computing infrastructure, that are connected to field crews, who are using real-time measurement and IoT sensors and secure communications to integrate everything together. It's really working across the organization, and as you talk about bringing stuff to the edge, it means bringing computing power, information, and infrastructure across the entire environment. But it's not just maps. What we're seeing is the growth of understanding of geospatial information is really around apps. They allow you to take the science of where everywhere, really making GIS widely available, whether that's using story maps to communicate, or dashboards, or 3D infrastructure, or web apps, or field apps. It's really the apps that are starting to take it forward. Nowadays, when you publish a map, many times you need to publish the app. The app is the experience that people will use to explore the information that you're publishing. And we really see that ArcGIS provides the system for managing, sharing, and applying geographic information at all scales, from individuals to teams, all the way through whole communities. And what we're really seeing, it's moving beyond the integrated workstation for a small group of people to being a platform for sharing and collaboration across the entire organization or across organizations for solving problems holistically, to bringing together all the information. Now, one of the powerful things about GIS is it integrates and abstracts all types of data. As an end user, the person you're providing your information to doesn't need to worry about where the different data sources come from, or whether this is a terrain data set, or LiDAR data set, or a tabular data set, or a point data set, or a shapefile, or wherever. It's abstracted to them because they see it just as information on a map. This creates the common language that they can share back and forth. As Brian mentioned, we really see that GIS is the platform for geospatial integration, bringing together your traditional system of record with your increasingly important system of insights, where you're starting to understand your data and think further, using new tools like AI and ML to be able to look further into that data. But using the system of engagement to take the expertise that all of you have out of your department and your domain and allow the entire organization to benefit from your work, to engage not just your coworkers, but your constituents, the public, and other organizations to collaborate. Around all of this, one of the things that we're seeing is real-time measurement is coming into all of these. Whether you're storing the data as a part of your system of record, as you just saw, or you're using that to provide real-time information for engagement and communication, or you're using real-time information as part of your analytics. Real-time is becoming increasingly normal. It's what you are expected to have. Now, for all of you who may still work on individual projects, no problem. We really see GIS has to support everything from individual projects to systems of systems, where you start to interconnect your GIS and other systems, but you also interconnect multiple GIS systems around your organization or across organizations. When I talk about geospatial infrastructure, that's what I'm talking about. It's providing this infrastructure to allow people to do new things that 2, 3, 5 years ago they could not even imagine bringing together. That infrastructure of geospatial data, technology is allowing whole new growth of ideas. But mapping is still a key part, and mapping is becoming easier. And as you look around in the IT world, you hear a lot about data visualization to bring further understanding. Well, what's one of the most powerful and longest lasting of data visualizations? It's mapping. But mapping doesn't have to be done by the expert cartographers in the back room anymore. You can bring mapping to everyone in your organizations. You can empower them to ask questions and create their own maps easily. Now, as a trained cartographer, I'm still okay with that, because there's still a role for cartographers to build the base information, to build the representation that people start with. But it's also about taking GIS out of the office and across the field, whether it's tracking where the employees are, where the work orders are, or capturing data. Bringing them all together and being able to see that information is part of what you have to expect from using geospatial information. One of the big changes that we've seen in the last 5 years has been the growth of dashboards. As a communication tool, they are replacing reports, they are replacing maps in many organizations. They are the tool where people can understand the context of the map information, the charts and graphs and tables that give them the context for what they're experiencing on the chart. While many of these are real-time and dynamic, as we've seen, others of these are really much like a report. They're produced on a regular periodic basis, whether it's once a day, once a week, once a month. These dashboards are becoming the communication tool that executives want to interact with on their device at any time, in the car, at home, to understand what's going on. Real-time, as I've said, is increasingly important, not just because of the wealth of IoT sensors out there, but because of the wealth of all the data that's coming in. Now, for some people, real-time is sub-second. For your people who work with parcels, real-time is every couple of days. For other people, real-time is every couple of weeks. What it means is being able to tap into that stream of data change, to be able to bring together the environment, the assets, the vehicles, all the sensor information, as well as all the transactional information, and pull it together to provide situational awareness, analytics, and even alerting as things go wrong. Imagery is one of the key areas that keeps transforming how people use data. As I started my career, let's just say a while back, imagery was something experts used. It was expensive, it was hard to get, it was updated irregularly, it was coarse resolution. That's not what we have today. You get imagery for anywhere in the world updated every couple of days. You get imagery for your neighborhood at 3-inch or better. You can start to use imagery in whole new ways. And imagery is important, not just what it looks like now, but what it looked like over time. Many of your communities were flown in the early 1940s as part of the agricultural USDA emissions. Over time, that data has been maintained and updated. You can peel back the layers and start to understand what did that area look like before. When looking at developments, the current map is important. The map of 15, 20, 30 years ago might even be more important to know what was there. But this data is allowing everyone to start to understand and ask questions of that data. What was there? What's the health of the vegetation now? Where's the vegetation encroaching on my infrastructure? Where is new developments? Who put in a new pool without a permit? These sort of data are allowing people to ask whole new questions within their infrastructure. One of the exciting things in the last 3-4 years has really been as the world of AI, machine learning, and deep learning have really come together and moved out of the experimental phase for researchers into operational. What can we practically do with this? Not a theoretical research project. You saw a little bit about that earlier from City of Raleigh. The potential here is phenomenal. And Esri is working to integrate spatial machine learning, AI tools into our platform. There's a huge wealth of tools out there, but they're not spatially aware. So we're able to take our spatial technology and blend it with what's out there to get the best of all worlds. So whether that's counting cars in a parking lot for retail analysis, or checking on vegetation health to look for pipeline spills, or object detection of vehicles, as you were talking about earlier, to so much more. And one of the keys for this data as we move forward, looking forward another 10, 20 years, is all the data you're currently collecting is the base for all your future decisions. So saving, maintaining the asset information for everything that happens now will transform how you can use these tools in the future to better predict what happens next. GIS is moving beyond just the analysts to bring together people, organizations, and stakeholders across communities. Using hubs, what we're seeing is citizens, academics, businesses, government, consultants, all can have a common framework to share and process information. But you can also engage the community to participate in that information. Whether it's asking the Cub Scouts to go out and map where the curb cuts are for you as part of their project, or bringing together open data sources and providing that out to the community to think of whole new ways of sharing information. It allows them to collaborate around shared interests and common goals. Now, from an Esri perspective, we continue to support you. Our role in life is to make you more successful and help you do your jobs better. Right? We continue to be strong and growing. I think many of you know that we are committed to you and being engineering and science focused. From a corporate perspective, we're really involved in promoting spatial literacy, education, and we're trying to make the world a better place by using our technology to bring that forward. We're really working together within Esri and working with you, our customers and our partners, to really make a difference. Now, Esri and Cityworks have a long and very positive history. Brian and I were joking last night about when we first met, and he alluded to it, but we were all a little bit younger then. So we look forward to continuing this positive relationship as with Cityworks and with Trimble. We've had as extensive a relationship with Trimble as we've had with Cityworks over the past several decades. And as this change of bringing Trimble into the equation with Cityworks, I see nothing but positives. Because Cityworks maintains who they are and who you've come to expect. And Trimble brings a whole new sense of energy and opportunities. While we talk about how GIS and geospatial infrastructure are making a difference, It's really about delivering value and transforming organizations. But it's important for all of you to know that technology is not enough. It's actually you. All of you are actually the critical components in making this succeed. It's your leadership, it's your vision, it's your strategy. Ultimately, it's your passion. The passion for bringing spatial understanding to the problems that you're facing. You're really essential to make a difference in your community, in your work, ultimately, in our world. And with that, I thank you for your time this morning.